Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. This video is going to be a roundup of recent news in Dragalia Lost. I'm going to talk about some events that are happening right now and also discuss a version update that is coming up soon. So Dragalia Lost has had a pretty busy week. Not only do we have a couple different events running simultaneously, we got Fire Emblem added to the Event Compendium, and we have double drops, half stamina going on for story quests as well as for the Agito Uprising, where every day there will either be a co-op or a solo Agito quest on double drops. It's been a really good time to catch up in the game, but if you are a more veteran player like myself, you may not have as much to do in Dragalia Lost. I feel like I'm not super engaged with the game right now, but it's been nice to kind of take a little bit of a break. And I'm very curious for those of you who are new to some of this content, what your impressions are. You know, if you're playing through Fire Emblem for the first time, or maybe you're playing through Agents of the Goddess, which is our facility event happening now for the first time, I'd be very curious to hear what you think. So in this video, we're basically going to run down several different things that are happening. I'm starting off with the Fire Emblem events in the Event Compendium, checking out the Coliseum battle in the Kindred Ties event. Super cool that these are available on a permanent basis, so all players in the future will have access to Alphonse and Sharina. The second one, Kindred Ties, was definitely grindier than the first one, because if you want to clear out the treasure trade, you do have to play quite a lot to get some of the universal gems that you need for page 2 of the treasure trade. Otherwise, pretty cool to take this Coliseum challenge on again and see how much we've progressed in the arena compared to how difficult it was the first time around. The Fire Emblem banners are happening right now, so hopefully if you planned on summoning those, you're able to get whichever characters you're going for, or maybe you're waiting until the end to see what banner we're getting next. Moving on to Agents of the Goddess, I'm going to check out the Otherworld Ramiel battle, and on the note of not being especially engaged with Dragalia Lost right now, I actually just threw my Legend Kayan team on here and figured I didn't want to make a new team, was feeling kind of lazy, so I wanted to see, hopefully this would be able to auto, and sure enough, it worked. As an added bonus, Patia was using Ramiel, so got a little bit of Ramiel on Ramiel action here, but no Nevin, sadly. So this event is kind of crucial to the Sinister Dominion plotline that's happening, and it introduces the Archangels and the Apostles. So I'm glad that this was rerun. It makes me think that maybe they're setting up the part 3 to this saga toward the end of this month. Maybe that'll be our event this month, or if not, maybe we'll get it next month, because we are going to get another Sinister Dominion battle next month, but we haven't had a new boss or new villain introduced. It's possible sometimes they introduce bosses before we really know the full backstory behind them, but I think we might get our part 3 event before then, and if I had to guess, that would feature Uriel, who is Faris' dragon, maybe Michael, Basilius' dragon, and maybe Regina, the leader of the Apostles. That's it for Agents of the Goddess. Let's also talk about Mars. Mars' trial was added to Trials of the Mighty. Gotta say, this is one of the more challenging Trials of the Mighty. Actually, pretty enjoyable, pretty engaging, and it surprised me with the difficulty level. I think this is more like Thor in terms of how challenging it is. It's something that you may struggle a bit with a new player, or if you don't have as deep of a roster. Personally, I've just been autoing this or trying to do it in co-op. I think now that players have kind of learned to run to the edges of the screen for the big laser attack that Mars does, co-op has been overall more successful. But you can see here that Curse of Nihility is a very real thing in this fight, and with the characters that are available to you, the weapon types that are available, Dispel is also a challenge. In auto, your healer or whoever your lead is may latch on to some of these cylinders and use the Dispel skills on them and not on Mars, and he can stack up quite a lot of strength buffs. Overall, the most exciting things to come out of this for me is definitely Yukata Cassandra's Mana Spiral. I'm really glad she gets skill prep. I think that's actually a huge upgrade to her, and unfortunately, it's just on enough nodes away that you can't get it with 1 week of Trials of the Mighty. You're going to have to wait for the next iteration. The skill prep comes on the node that we're just barely gated out of, unless you're buying the double drop chest for dailies. So we can't quite access that yet, but I do think that's going to be a really significant upgrade to her, and much needed, so glad to see that happening. Otherwise, Trials of the Mighty just continue to be sort of content that I'm glad exists. It's fun. It gives us something that something to do to like grind up materials that we need an outlet to grind, but I haven't really spent a lot of time trying to optimize this or put a whole lot of effort into this. Again, low effort right now, just been busy with life and other things. A little bored with Dragalia Lost, but I've had plenty going on otherwise, so it comes at a good time to take a little break. And finally for this video, let's talk about time attack. Time attack challenges are happening right now for Ciella, and one thing they did differently this time is separate the ranked component out from just the class-based rewards. So you actually have to do a separate rank quest, and this time around it's the expert difficulty, and for co-op it's the master difficulty. So expert for solo, for co-op it's master, and it's just straight up taken from the original Ciella battle. So I'm showing my current fastest team here. I think I've gotten slightly faster teams, clears with this team just for dailies, but this is just the team that I put together and was able to get me a decent time. So hopefully this works out for you if you want to try go for maybe the top 10% epithets. It's right on the cusp of being able to do that or not. Apparently Ciella is boggable, so I would guess that some of the faster clear times incorporate that as a strategy. She can be bogged once in each phase, so you could bring that on a shared skill and probably get lucky and be able to utilize that. For me, I'm just going to do the minimum with this one. I'm not super interested in the ranking, but it is separated out to help make it a little easier for players who just want dailies versus those who actually want to compete and try get an epithet. One other thing though, make sure you do the ranks just so you get the Wormite for the first clear bonus. And I think that's it for me, everyone. That is going to do it for this video. New story chapter coming next week. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you've been enjoying Dragalia Lost. Take care, and I'll see you next time.